Greetings, travelers, from beyond the ether. Strange that I would find you in this place, although I suppose it is only natural to sin. I am the biggest sinner of them all, though, because when I was in 2nd grade, we used small plastic hippos that looked like Monopoly pieces to learn something math-related, probably Green's theorem. However, my sin came when I accidentally took 2 of these small plastic hippos home, an act of pure thievery. Ever since, I've had to go all in on sinning as a man who is so clearly irredeemable as to ruin the life of a poor, overworked, underpaid teacher. That is why all that I love must shrivel and turn to ash, because sinners deserve punishment. This is also why I'm a masochist, but not by choice. If I didn't learn to enjoy the personal hellscape I created for myself through negative karma, I would have gone completely insane long ago. That's why I am Catherine, the video game, a place for the damned and the loathsome. What does this have to do with anatomy on the box art? Because liking saxophone is the biggest sin of them all. So I'm not actually the biggest sinner, I lied to you, although Vincent absolutely committed all the sin with all the women. Further proof that even the lowest of scum can get more action than you. Who is Catherine? She is a concept, a representation of possibilities, the life you're supposed to live with the woman that you've loved, the temptation to wallow in your worst desires, and the act of being good at piano. The 3 essential paths to choose from in life, except for option 4, which is what is love? Baby, don't hurt. Given the choice, which path would you take? That's right, Vincent knows, the path of responsibly drinking for every night on money that you don't have. This bar has the only 4 drinks known to mankind, but it does lack my personal favorite of a gin and tonic without the tonic. You know, this doesn't seem like the best mental place to make important life decisions or craft text messages, but it is absolutely the perfect place to cheat on your girlfriend with a woman with the same name, albeit a different spelling. The classic spellings, starting with K, and C, and Q, of course, because there are actually 3 Cathri to cheat with. All of this is meaningless, though, because the only way to solve our life's problems is to solve seemingly arbitrary puzzles that have nothing to do with life whatsoever. Everything only seems like a mere distraction, but that's only because a person who I have no idea what they look like is judging our every move. I hope they hold up a big number 10 at the end like in the Olympics for my performance. Well, at least I didn't die. Thankfully, all my sinning has leveled up my techniques like pushing and pulling blocks. Who even knew that was possible in this game? Yes, I already knew that technique. I'm only here to pretend like I need help with techniques to interact with these sheep more. That way I can help them stay motivated. Nobody can climb towers like I can, and no one else is stupid enough to set the game to hard mode where you can't hesitate on a spike block or simply die. Death is meaningless though, because the real end is when love is over. A fate even more ruthless and brutal than being freed from this mortal coil. So the only real way to lose is to give up on love, even though it would seem that Vincent doesn't know how to love himself above all else. It can be scary though, facing your worst nightmares, such as typical terrifying things that come up in life all the time like child with chainsaw. In the world of unholiness, it's good to know that no one is alone, for you see, others are full of sin as well. These sheep are definitely not familiar, and definitely not bar-goers with the sheep aesthetic slapped on top of them. It would be absolute insanity if every man at the bar was trapped in the same unending nightmare that we are, almost like someone working at the bar is responsible for every person experiencing this collective nightmare. The music at the venue is good though, despite the food being reheated garbage. Perhaps I can get more chaos from answering these guest questions, but be careful. There is always a point in a relationship where you have to say the right thing at the right time, or they aren't going to wake up. No pressure, their entire existence depends on how you answer these arbitrary questions. If you were an animal, which would you be? A cat or a dog? A cat, I guess? Are you fucking kidding me? Sure, we might all be cheaters, liars, murderers, and worst of all, gamers. But at least every character in this game is an adult making adult mistakes instead of the stereotypical anime where everyone is 15 for some reason. Of course, it is impossible to play the game without someone asking, who is the best Catherine? That is a stupid question. That's like stating a paradox and expecting there to be a correct answer. Everyone is hot as fuck. However, in my opinion, I am a fan of Satan Catherine. This is because she is cuter than Catherine, and she made me realize how attractive aggressive women are. To me, at least. Never make the mistake of being unattractive, though. Perhaps this was my awakening to why I like a certain vanilla character. Although for Catherine, I'd say biting someone without consent takes her down a notch, but she makes up for it by being a complete psychopath. Also because when Catherine gets bashful, she's somehow even more dangerous than when wielding a freshly sharpened kitchen knife. She also has a nice personality. My preference in dating doesn't really matter though, because Rin has by far the best route and the best ending to the game. Turning Rin down always makes me feel actually evil and not YouTube evil. How could you turn down someone so cute that you only met 3 days ago and can't possibly have that deep of a relationship with? And Erica is the only sane person in the entire universe, with Johnny not being too far behind. You know, of all things, I've always played Catherine with the English voices for my entire existence. I usually don't do that for Japanese video games if I have the option. What does this game sound like in Japanese? Why does Vincent sound like he's going to tell me about MP tick optimizations in Final Fantasy XIV? Yeah, fuck that. Give me the English voices.
Most girls, as soon as they're adults, all they can think about is tying the knot, right?
Now that's the Vincent that I know. He sounds like a complete loser. Top-notch work from all of the English voice cast for selling me on the plot. It is absolutely delightful. Also, props to the music selection. I too love the oboe solo featured in the Polovitsian dances, and is that Chopin's revolutionary etude for the final boss theme? Now that is just too cultured. Why am I always going for maximum chaos in every repeat playthrough? It's simple, really. Video games are meant for fantasy, a way to do something unrealistic and entertaining. Playing the game of Catherine lawfully is wrong for several reasons. First, because Vincent will still cheat no matter how you align him, meaning you're not actually free of sin, you're only distracting yourself from your immorality. By the same token, he still tries to repair the relationship he ruined with Catherine on Max Chaos, but I feel like he gets what he deserves. Also because why bother struggling against the gods to gain free will only to do exactly what it is they wanted from the beginning? The correct answer to those questions is that Catherine is a good woman who doesn't deserve all the shit Vincent puts her through, and she should be happy, which you can accomplish by never speaking to her ever again. Also because Vincent will only finally turn his life around after everything completely falls apart. No matter how you align, Vincent always goes from a complete loser to a complete Chad in the span of about 20 seconds, saying how he wants to take back control of his life and the gods don't get to decide shit. All you will be left saying is damn Vincent, I didn't know that your cock was that big. And he says, it's not the size of your cock that matters, it's the size of the cock in your heart that matters. What an inspirational quote. Maybe I have that third inch in my heart too. Embrace the insanity and unpredictability of life, because only then can you become the Demon King. I feel like I missed a few steps here. There is no correct answer for how to climb the Tower of Life, unless your answer to that question is vanilla is cute, in which case you are absolutely right. I can't wait to buy the PC version on the PC release for the PC for PC gamers. It's not like only the classic version was released and not the full body version. It's not possible to play Atlas games and not want to punch that company right in the dick. They're like an old racist grandparent who says the most jaw-dropping shit right after giving you milk and cookies. It is a race between them, Nintendo, and Squeenix for who can be the biggest pile of shit. Well, thankfully for all of them, the biggest piece of shit of them all is still going to have to be whoever wrote the plot of Catherine, because holy fuck, everyone is truly a piece of garbage. It also reminds me that sins are pretty fucking cool. Although fuck the last puzzle of the Spiral Corridor, I've replayed Catherine about 6 times and I still have no idea how it works. Now let's get out there and remember that the worst of human filth can still redeem themselves with enough effort.